Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I created Magic and Miracles with one purpose only: to help people understand manifestation better and to really demystify all the things that people are throwing out there about manifestation and to really make it practical, something that you could use every single day. I've been a coach for 10 years. For the last 3 years, I've been on YouTube coaching people off of YouTube, and I've designed what's called the Signature Coaching Program specifically for the YouTube audience, so that it's condensed, precise, concise, and bite size, easy to follow for anybody. A child can do it. If you follow this program, if you sign up for coaching for 2 to 3 months on average, that's what's enough. I guarantee that unless you resist me, unless you rebuttal me, and unless you don't come ready to work, you will succeed in quantum leaping yourself to a higher timeline. Now, wherever you are on your journey, I don't know your story, you know your story. But wherever you are currently today, I will guarantee that if you show up ready to work, I will definitely quantum leap you to a higher timeline in which everything is going according to plan. There's no more mysteries in that sense. There's no more, why is this happening? I don't recognize this creation. It's about actually taking ownership of your life and redesigning even how you view your past. If you view your past currently as a burden, let's just say as something that shouldn't have never been, etc., this is also something that I rework in coaching. It's a three-step process. We cover your history. We need to do this because I need to understand your background, your belief system, what needs to be reworked. We process the emotions. And of course, all throughout the coaching, I accommodate the client based on what their needs are specifically. But, symbolically and kind of like the processes that would need to start with Mama Drama Panorama. Once that's processed, you feel lighter, you feel like a completely different human being, and then you're ready to rock and roll. And then I teach you manifestation, I teach you energy work, all of the goodies that truly help me, and again are really practical things that again a child can follow if you really are deliberate about it and if you really are consistent and disciplined. This is all about discipline. It doesn't take to be pretty enough or smart enough or whatever enough. It's just discipline. It's a discipline of mind is all it is. So the signature coaching package, to be in my coaching, okay, full time, you need to book a 1 hour session. And then, upon conclusion of that session, if we feel the match is right, you're expected to book the signature coaching package. Now, I very quickly wanted to mention the new packages that I've kind of incorporated into my both of my websites. The links are below. The new package is called the Pocket Coach. Okay, so this is the first tier of coaching, you could say. Okay, outside my book club. Let me start with the book club, actually. I meant to do that. Sign up for my book club if you want to receive SP related manifestation, encouraging messages all throughout the week, 2 to 3 times per week. Okay, I'm really free there. I'm really inspired. I'm cultivating the material from my book. It's a very authentic, one of a kind material that I want to be able to preserve within my book club whilst I am working on my book. And so you're privy to all these messages for only $59. Now, $59 a month. Okay, so you're getting like 12 audios a month. Now I'm going to increase this. So if this is something of interest to you, to kind of like the very very entry level of coaching, then you should definitely get that. I mean, $59 a month, it's a no-brainer. So that's the first initial. The second is the Pocket Coach, right? So what that is it's text based coaching primarily. All right. And you also get 3 sessions a month that we do need to schedule. Now, I recommend you start out with the hour session, okay, which is my preference. We go through everything that you're going through, whatever needs to be fixed, whatever the problems are. And then we continue the coaching just like I coach anybody, but it's a text message session. Now, again, this is experimentary. If this sounds good for you, then definitely try it. I want to be able to offer as many options as I can to different people with different lifestyles, with different comfort zones. So 3 sessions, you get 3 text sessions that are 30 minutes long per week. We do need to schedule it, and I'm a little bit more flexible with this, but please don't misunderstand it. Like, you can get me anytime. It needs to be scheduled. If you have an emergency situation, and let's say you're suffering, something's going on, you could request an emergency session, but it has to be at least the night before. Okay, it's not reasonable to ask of me to be available the day of. Like, that's just not going to happen. Okay, or even the day after. But you can ask. It's not guaranteed. I just want to manage expectations. You need to ask. If I'm able to, I will absolutely accommodate, or I'll give you another time. Okay, so that's text messages. And again, you still have 2 1-hour sessions via Zoom or via phone call to kind of check in person. Okay, so that's 1550. Okay, very kind of like introductory. The other coaching package that I just reintroduced, okay, it used to be called Unlimited Audio Exchange Coaching Package. Now it's just Audio Exchange Package. What that is again, you get 3 sessions for that month in person, one-on-one, via Zoom or via phone call. In between, we exchange audios. Again, 2 to 3 times per week, we exchange messages, audio messages, just like I record on my the app. Is called Voice Record Pro. Okay. Very easy app. If it's another app, whatever, it doesn't matter. Doesn't have to be. But essentially, your audios need to be 15 minutes long. Any longer, like, I'm not gonna be able to handle it. Don't apologize to me. Don't say anything. Just don't send it if it's longer than 15 minutes. I'm just not gonna be able to do it, you know? No way. Okay, it just needs to be like you're respecting of my time so that I can give you more. Now, my answer will be guaranteed at least 20 minutes, 20, 30. I've gone as long as an hour in some cases, because that's kind of how I started coaching on YouTube. And some people prefer that. Again, somebody who is busy, somebody who just, maybe is shy, maybe doesn't want to show their face. Maybe that's what they want. Maybe they, again, a ton of clients came to me and said, I came to you because you offered this. This was, in 2023 or whatever. That's when I was coaching this way. So if it's for you, it's 2450. I discounted it a little. It used to be 2750. It's 2450 because, again, I'm asking this time. It used to be 20 minutes the message from you. I'm asking this time it's 15. Okay, so 15 minutes. It should be enough. Okay, 1 minute or 2 minutes you over, that's okay, but don't make it a habit and don't stretch it to 20. Okay, just please, I'm asking because it's just going to be more effective for me to be able to coach you. Okay, so that's that. For every single package, you need to sign the coaching agreement. All the other packages, there are 4 sessions, do it yourself. Video school. I'm currently still working on the most amazing package of do it yourself with the signature energy course. I will announce it when it's done. It's going to be unparalleled. There is, first of all, my coaching program just doesn't, there is no rival to this coaching program because it has been designed by me throughout the last 15 years of my own journey. But the energy signature energy course, it will be unparalleled in that everybody must get it, understand it, whoever is inclined, that is, towards the understanding of energy, not just like looking at 3D and affirming 3000 times or whatever the fuck it happens to be. This you must purchase. You can pre-book. A lot of people already have. In the minute that I'm ready to rock and roll, or you can just, email me and let me know your email so I can email you when it's ready. All right. We have a fantastic live ahead of us, so thumb up and subscribe if you're new. I have a lot of notes, so we'll just get to it. So the title of today's topic is Do's and Don'ts of Bringing Back or Bringing in your SP. Okay, period. So this is going to be from a so there's two versions of these events. Most probably, since you're watching this, you're the person who happens to be not that confident. Okay, but it's diametrically opposed the result from if somebody doesn't have their SP, or somebody whatever was, broken up with or divorced from, or etc. If it happens to a confident person, and if it happens to a non-confident person, the reaction is completely different, as you would understand. So right now, your point of view, your perspective may be one of a person who is not confident at all. And so your perception then of the situation, or whatever the situation is, whether you want to get into a relationship with a brand new person, or you want to re-engage into a relationship with somebody that you have your eyes set on or your heart set on, it will be different. The interpretation that you're having is completely different. Okay. So whether you're confident or not, your narrative will be different right now based on what are you kind of like taking away from this current situation, where you either are still not married, don't have a boyfriend or a husband, don't have a wife or a girlfriend. This is the entire shebang. One person who is confident is going to be like, whatever. So I don't have them yet. I can get them any fucking time that I wish. And another one is just, quite frankly, is going to really be, again, like really emotional around it. And there's a lot of animosity behind this feeling of I'm lacking something, and therefore something's not right with me. Versus, notice, a confident person goes, well, I don't have it yet, but I can have it anytime I want. So if you happen to be in this position where you're not confident at all, it naturally follows that if you still haven't processed your mama drama panorama, and for those who are new, this is simply a reference to something that is unhealed, a certain perception about yourself and what you represent in the world, or to the opposite sex, or in relationships, period. A certain idea that has been programmed through certain events. What's traumatic to one person isn't traumatic to another. And so if you're approaching it from this wound of I'm not enough, or my mom didn't love me or didn't treat me like she loved me, or whatever the case might be in your situation, this is the programming talking, and the programming alone. This is not what's actually on the table. So you're looking at the situation completely distorted. So your actions will then mirror this perception that is completely distorted, only lives in your head. Okay. When it dawned on me, when I started my journey like 15 years ago, and I left my last dysfunctional relationship, I at some point I realized, wow, it was all in my head. I acted from some kind of a garbage idea that my mom instilled in me. In my case, I had a narcissistic mother, still do. She's still narcissistic. Um, that completely derailed me because I bought into this idea. Okay, through no fault of my own. I mean, obviously, you're sitting here watching this. You can relate because it's just something you don't know any different. Okay, but nevertheless, you're looking at the reality through a completely distorted prism. It's just not reality, even. Okay, in the 3D. So if you are in this position, the automatic kind of the autopilot of your programming will go, something's lacking, I have to work hard for it, I have to go chase it, I have to prove my worthiness, I have to explain to them how freaking wonderful I am, I have to, if I chase them enough, I know underneath it all, listen, I've been there, that's why I can talk like this. Okay, and everything I say, listen, it's not because two, dual action. I want to make fun of it for comic relief. And two, I just want you to see the absurdity of what, how the programming is powerful, but how absurd it really is. Okay. So I'm a good mirror in coaching as well. So you're trying very hard to convince the other person, hey, I'm worthy, I'm of a value. versus it should be for a confident person, it should be like, well, duh, I'm valuable, but if you don't see it, I'm out of here, kind of deal. So stop chasing altogether in any shape or form. Energetic chasing is also a form of chasing. What is energetic chasing? Oh, I don't have them. Oh, again, comic relief, not making fun of anybody, just because I've been there. Okay, I've struggled with this, like, I thought, like, it seemed like eternity. Okay, I'm so happy that I'm here to tell my fucking testimony, as they say in in the church or in the Bible, whatever. It's not that. It's not this yearning. It's not like you're gonna die or whatever. It's not, nothing has gone wrong in that sense. It just feels that way because of this recall back, call back to this memory of you not being mothered enough, fathered enough, whatever, parented enough. Somebody didn't stand up for you. Somebody allowed some kind of chaos in your mind, and you connect the situation with loving with romantic relationships because it's closer to home. Okay, it's a representation of this direct love that you're getting from the closest person. The closest person before was your mother or your father. Now this closest person is your counterpart, your other half, so to speak. But that's not what's happening. Okay, you are your other half. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. If you're chasing, just understand, just mechanically, right, in 3D and in kind of like metaphysics alike, if you're chasing, they're running away. It's an instinct thing. It's like, why the fuck would they chase me if they were valuable? Why would they do that? You should completely not give yourself away, even if your mind is that way right now. Okay? Why would you chase? Why would you misrepresent yourself to another person with your actions, on acting on something that is completely distorted? So action one, or rather the non-action, would be stop chasing, stop obsessing. It's not a big deal. Understand, it's supposed to be very easy. That your programming upstairs lets you know this is very hard. I've struggled with this for all my life. This is just one version of you. Okay? You need to completely leave this version in the dust after you have consulted with it what kind of healing this version needs from you. This parallel version of you right now that you're living in the body, it requires your attention to heal something. There's like myriad billions of versions of you, and this specific, you, for some reason you're zeroing in on this particular timeline, this particular version of yourself, so that you can teach yourself something, uncover something, fix something, mend something, heal something. So stop chasing. It's an instinct thing. If you're chasing somebody, you texting, you're constantly thinking of them in a lack way, like you're not texting me, you're not calling me, you have to really stop that. You are polluting your airwaves with these messages of lack, completely blocking it. And try to the best of your ability to physically stop sending messages, trying to run into them, trying to do whatever. That is completely counterproductive. It reeks of desperation. Okay, you really need to start catching yourself, and that's a must do. Can you recover from chasing? Yes, I have like many audios and videos and lives alike on my channel. You can go watch how to up your price after chasing and all that. But to save yourself the stuff that you need to then later correct, okay, you need to stop chasing, okay, and you need to stop watching 300 million videos also. Excuse me. Hear the sirens? Confirmation. Sorry, one second. Can you hear it? So the next point is going to be 8 points altogether. Approach yourself as a brand. Okay, so right now, your brand is kind of like, I'm sorry, but not doing so well. Okay, your brand, your what you represent again to the world, what you represent to yourself first and foremost, you need to rebrand. I don't know what to tell you. Rebranding is necessary. New standards. Okay, what you will accept. You're renegotiating a contract. So this message from the universe came in. Hey, you know what? You don't love yourself as much as you think that you do, or as much as you should. You don't respect yourself. This is why it happened. Again, separate the event with your SP from your self-worth. and look at it pure, because I think a lot of people like really get carried away with this notion of this represents who I am, this represents what I'm worth, rather than, and I can totally understand how it seems that way, because this person is, they're supposed to love you, they're supposed to be a certain way towards you, because that's what you dream of. I get it. But understand that essentially it's just a creation. And there's no kind of wrong creation as long as you're learning from it and augmenting your expertise. So approaching yourself as a brand and pretending like you're literally, not really pretending, like renegotiating a contract due to certain changes, you would have to come to the table as a different person, as a rebranded person. Okay. What do I mean by that? So let's get into it. So, first of all, again, confidence, lack of confidence. How do you get to this confidence? How do you start rebranding yourself? You need to start from, ground zero. Who is in charge of the narrative? That's the number one thing. Who's in charge of the narrative? Because are you, sorry, giving away your power to your SP's seeming narrative? What's the narrative? They're not here. They're over there with somebody else, blah, 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 whatever the circumstance. Are you then permitting yourself to get upset over this? There's no point. There's no point. You're not going to see anything different when you're in the middle of being upset. So, whoever is freaking out less in the situation is in charge of the narrative. If you let yourself freak out, you just gave out this freak out energy. Okay, just again, whatever the situation is, whether you were with them, whether you're trying to call them in, whatever, a brand new person, if you're in a state of freaking out, my darling, nothing good can come from this. Not with this person, not in general in life. And again, I want to pacify your heart that I'm not judging. I only am here to give you a shortcut of understanding how the true definition of mastership, of magicianship, is really being under control with your thoughts, with your, like, you can go through pain, but can you get a hold of yourself? You can go through emotions, but in a graceful, elegant way. Even if you can be going through emotions and all these things, but are you letting even those emotions, even those challenges, which will arise along the way, and it's all how you deal with them, with how much grace and how much therefore benefit for you that you will derive from it. But who is in charge of the narrative? Are you letting yourself freak out and therefore play this role of a chaser? I mean, I'm sure you're bored with it by now, with this role of a chaser who's constantly like reaching out again energetically or with messages or wondering. Okay, so how about you start being the person who is now a rebranded completely rebranded product. I am not this person, I've never been this person. Truth is, you are not the person who you think you are today. If your life is out of whack, it means that you're kind of like in the body of a parallel version of yourself who is not the authentic version of you. If you're in suffering, if you're in lack, if you're constantly reacting to what other people like say about you or the way that they behave, and you really take it to heart and you really dwell on it rather than, yeah, whatever, you are being a slave to somebody else's narrative. You need to be in charge of your own narrative. And the narrative is, I'm the hottest chick in the game. I'm the hottest dude in the game. I've rebranded. And even in the process, whilst you're doing it, whilst you're achieving your high vision, okay, you can be already in your mind living as that person. That's what's important. If you're giving away your power to somebody else's narrative, they left, therefore that equals I'm not desirable. Fucking forget it. No, they left because they don't know the real me, you could say. I didn't let them see the real me. See how much softer it just became instead of judging yourself for not being something. It's not about judgment. It's about, thank you so much, SP. You reminded me that I was not being my authentic self. Because believe me when I tell you, if you are showing up passionate, in love with life, and 100% authentically you, No SP, no fucking amount of money, nothing can stop you. And nothing will not be yours in that sense. It's already yours. So, who controls the narrative? The one that's freaking out less, and who understands that everything happens on the inside. Expectation, the one, two, three, blah, blah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth point is expectation calls it in. Okay. So, what is expectation? Very quickly, it cannot be a shock. It cannot be like, whoa, I can't believe this happened to me. Expectation is cannot be unfamiliar. This cannot be like, oh my God, I just got like, $1 billion in the mail, and that's shocking to me. That's not expectation. Expectation is, yeah, that's totally familiar to me. It's kind of like, this is, maybe more illustrative of that energy. If you expect to make a certain amount of money in a month or a year, that's an expectation. In the same manner, you expect your SPs or whoever, doesn't need to be romantic in that sense. Some people come to me with like parents problem and this and that. Of course they do. Because they hear my story, they can identify. So expectation calls it in because you're saying, yes, of course. Yes, of course, they will be like this towards me. And of course, it happens gradually. But that you even entertaining this idea that, yes, this could happen to me. I'm going to love myself enough to raise the standards again. The expectation is going to call it in when I open the door and start entertaining, metaphorically speaking. If I'm making 100,000 a month, then now I need to double it to 100,000. That's an upgrade. Okay, that's a different. Okay, or better yet, let's be a little bit dramatic for the sake of example. I before I expected to make 100,000 a month, and now it's 1 million. Okay, how about that? How you like me now? Making 12 mil a year without breaking a sweat. That's the expectation, that I can get your fucking text anytime I want. I can get your apology anytime I want. I misinterpreted this whole situation. I gave away my power to you, thinking that you control my universe, you creating for me. And again, this is a callback directly to your childhood when you expected your mother or your father to act differently. To you come and please me. That's the role they had. You come and make things right. You come and boo boo boo. This is not the same scenario. And I know I understand psychologically how that's totally connected to the love again, wherever the love source is. That's what the scenario used to be, but that is not the scenario today. So you need to recalibrate it. You need to rethink it. Before I used to be a child, before I was under the impression that, it's all kind of like happening for me. But now I need to start making things happen by becoming somebody that perhaps I never was before. Okay. Really. So it's a different expectation. It's a different message to the universe. It's a different, I'm welcoming. I'm welcoming the possibility, even though at the first blush, it's going to be like, holy shit, bananas. Can I really make, metaphorically speaking, or literally 1 million a month? And then before you know it, 1 million a month is just chewing gum to you. Okay. So challenging your mind to go beyond that barrier of course they're not going to call me, of course they're going to choose somebody else, of course some negative projection. No, darling, this is how your brand went down and the stock crashed, okay, on stock market. No fucking bloody way. And the thing is, you don't need to become a different person like right away, okay, mentally or on the exterior. The idea needs to start to change in the day and the hour that you start changing the idea of, this is who I am, this is what I represent to the world, this is how I expect people to treat me. The process has begun. I mean, you just need to work at it and work at it so much that essentially it's your life. It just blends right in, with your current reality, if you want to say it like that, or you quantum leaping to that reality in which that was always the case. And looking back at yourself today, you will be like, wow, I cannot believe I was that person. Like me looking back at me, and I wanted to give this example as a for instance. When I was with my dragatic ex-boyfriend, this is gonna go in my book, don't you know? Might be. Yeah, I probably will. Because it was, right after that that my life, literally, I revolutionized my life, which is why I use that expression so much. So when I was with him, he being the crazy narcissist that he is, yes, I was modeling, yes, I was auditioning and getting some roles, but he was insisting that I do like a job. And I would go to these like ridiculous interviews just to appease him, completely miserable. Okay, completely miserable, not having my own point of view, not having my own brand together, not having the balls to say, you know what? No, I don't want to fucking work at Rolex. No, I don't want to be a real estate person. I just want to be Anna. Okay, I want to do my shit. But to him, that represented a threat. Okay, so at that moment, that person, that little person who had no fucking backbone, who had no ideas of her own, they just like followed the yellow brick road of this insane individual. But again, this is a dramatic example, but just to kind of, again, for comic relief and to establish that you yourself need to be strong enough to dictate the conditions of the relationship that you will be a part of. This is not narcissistic. This is just out of self-esteem and self-love. If you're showing up completely on empty and you expect that other person to fill you up and to give you princess treatment and blah blah blah, just take care of you like like a mother, you have the wrong idea. And I understand completely how psychologically, again, that's connected or maybe connected, but that is not what you're playing with here. You're playing like, big girl or big boy games here. This is not childhood. All right. So you're gonna have to present yourself as a big girl, as a big boy. Okay. So now mastering manifestation begins with the change of idea. Who am I? What do I represent in the world? How do I just go one by one? If you're not going to be in my coaching, just go sit down one by one. What areas in my life do I want to change? How do I want people to treat me? It's a revolution. It's nothing short of a fucking revolution. It's a rebranding of your mind. Okay. Sorry, I'm just consulting my notes. At any point, you guys can ask questions. Sorry, let me just check where am I. Oh, Lola's hi, darling. Hold on. Just trying to manifest contact with SP. Okay, let me get back to you. Is that a question or I don't know. But ask a question if it's a question. Sorry. Um anyway. One, two, three, four, five. We're now to five. So now, okay, if you're realizing you're the golden Buddha, that you're this brand, like who can say no to a certain kind of brand. Let's just say a worldwide accepted brand like Coca-Cola. Okay, it's not good for you. It's not that. Give another example. Something that is indisputably highly regarded, no bullshit. This is something that I want you to think about. Who am I really? Okay. So if you're the golden Buddha, the game has just changed radically. You're operating from a different frequency. You're saying, okay, let me tap into the frequency of being the golden Buddha where everything goes to according to my plan, and that I represent this ultra valuable person to the world. Whatever you're doing, whatever business you're in, whatever your situation, you could be fucking unemployed right now. Okay. That's not, what I'm talking. What I'm talking about is the idea within you changes. Hey, wait a fucking minute. I lived a life of somebody else's. I'm ready to live my own life. Okay. So this needs to click, and now the action starts. So if you're acting from this high voltage, high frequency timeline, you have new standards. You just automatically you're tapping into how would that person, act in real life. So be ready to walk away. The energy should be not, I'm fucking chasing this person or I'm yearning after them. No, no, no. You say to yourself, no, I okay, I'm speaking for you, made a mistake to misrepresent myself to this person. That's why they bowed out, or that's why they did X, Y, and Z. Excuse me. This was totally, in congruent with that reality. Now I have a new game. Okay, now if you don't like the game, I have a new movie, I have a new theater play in mind. I am so confident that it's not that I'm chasing. I am ready to walk away if this relationship is not up to my standards. And most certainly, most often than not, there will be certain things that you're currently obliging that you would like the new you would not completely. That you're overgiving, oversharing, overdoing, blah 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 blah. The people pleaser in you, I mean 99% of you are not for nothing people pleasers. So you're overdoing it. So now it's reversed. The energy is back home. You're pulling back your energy and you're saying, no, excuse me. You know what? Actually, you're the one who needs to be pleasing me. I'm the one to be pleased. Okay. I've done enough of fucking chasing. I've done enough of this, outwardly positioned mentality. Now I get to have this confidence that, yes, God damn it, I'm valuable enough. And if it's not up to par of what I expect from you, now that I've realized I'm the golden Buddha, I'm ready to walk away nonchalantly, just like that. Okay. That confident energy. I'm not asking of you, parenthesis here, to literally walk away from the idea of this SP. No, that's not what I mean. But in your mind, you say, it's my motherfucking highway or no fucking highway. It's my way or the motherfucking highway. Okay. Again, stressing 300 million times, underlining it, not in a narcissistic way, but in a way of, excuse me, I have new standards now. Okay, the old sellout version of me didn't have any. This is why the shit hit the fan. Now I have new standards. So you have no idea how attractive that is, by the way, because the same person can come back to you when once your frequency elevates itself and come back to a totally different person, and they're like cannot believe their eyes, like, who are you? Now they know the rules have changed. Now they have to chase you, and believe me, this is exactly what's going to happen. But again, I want to stress what you send out in your mind, in your with your energy. And if you're saying to them again day in and day out, you're going to be with somebody, you're going to replace me, all these negative things, just take ownership of what it is you're saying to them. Okay. That's all it really is. Since you've turned that narrative around, now it's up to you to dictate the fucking rules of the new game. You're not playing that game anymore. You've pulled back your energy. They will feel that you did. You don't have to announce it on the radio, on TV, nowhere. They will feel like, huh, it's gonna be like in their mind, they're going to receive a notification. Bing. They're not chasing you anymore. Energy has changed. It's a different world altogether. And they will start being a little bit like upset, even. You know what I mean? When you give away your golden fucking Buddha energy like nobody's fucking business, and suddenly you pull back, people fucking notice that shit. You need to realize that you're the golden Buddha. Okay, let me read Lola's says comments. Just trying to manifest contact with SP. How to deal with time passing while manifesting SP, as in not trying to be anxious day after day, being patient. Good question. Um, I'm going to cover it actually. The answer is in the next couple of points. But if you're becoming this new version, and you have your life together, a lot of you, not for nothing, again, not to pick on you or not to criticize on you, but a lot of you just, again, been there myself, all right? So not a judgment in any shape or form, God no, but you don't have your life together. Some of you don't have your living situations together. It's like, I wonder if you're more upset about that rather than the SP, because if you had the money and the control over your life and the job and the whatever, the weight was perfect and the body was all that, I wonder how you'd feel then. Would you be that desperate and anxious? I don't think so. It's just human nature. You feel defeated right now because everything around you is kind of, maybe not everybody, okay? Just some people, okay? Here and there, I mean, definitely in my coaching, I noticed that it's not just SP. It's other things. It's security, it's the living situation, it's the money, it's the job. It's some kind of discontent that is completely yours to take care of. Kind of this is why it's counterproductive to be manifesting SPs when it's kind of like, why am I manifesting my SP? Manifestation is instant if I don't have my shit together, right? Like, how am I, what kind of version am I going to manifest of that SP if I don't have my shit together? A person who doesn't have their shit together either. Somebody who doesn't want to commit, somebody who doesn't want that and doesn't want this, and blah, 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 blah. Who the fuck wants to deal with that? When you come in, like, like a butter cutter, I used to use this metaphor like 2 years ago on my channel. Be a butter cutter. Be like a hot knife cutting through butter. The most frozen fucking butter will cut. No, this is my decision. This is who I am. This is how you're going to be. Anxious about what? You're only anxious if you yourself are not content with your life. And you're only anxious if you don't believe that they're going to come back to you. That's it. That's it. You're only anxious because it's already a kind of like predisposed kind of decision has been made, essentially. If you make a decision that, you know what, in this hour right now, in this minute, they're dreaming about me, they're drooling over me. They cannot satiate themselves like anymore with just thoughts alone about me. They need to pick up the phone and fucking talk to me already. But that's a level of consciousness though. Like right now, I just said a bunch of words. Some of them maybe you believed, and some of them maybe you didn't. But the thing is, you see what I'm saying? If you do buy into that, it's another story. It's another story. You're operating from a different frequency. So to be higher in frequency, your own life needs to be together. It's just there's no other way. You're stronger for that. You have more to offer, and therefore you're not gonna, cut them a break in that sense. Not again, not in a narcissistic way, not in an evil way, but you're like, hey, I showed up. What about you? Kind of situation. I hope I answered that, Lolas. So be ready to walk away if it's not up to your fucking standard. Just please, okay? Have you met me? Kind of deal. Yeah, all these other years, I used to be this pushover. Let's just say, that's the situation. Certainly I was, made no secret of that. But the moment that, I was a pushover all these years, but now it's a new day. Now it's a new me. Don't know what to tell me. You or anybody else. You don't need to tell anybody anything. You just be that golden Buddha that is completely irresistible to anybody. Okay. Um Sorry, checking my notes. Right. So the next one, this is what I was just gonna say. Be the version of yourself who is always desired. This is the mind now. Okay. Mind, body, and soul. The next 3 points are mind, body, and soul, but I'm going to describe. Be the version of yourself who is always desired by anyone. Anyone you lay your eyes on. You're addicted to me like to a drug. This is like, if you want to call it a belief, if you want to call it like a program, if you want to call it like, again, you don't have to be the most perfect looking person. You don't have to be the thinnest or whatever, the most successful. It's this accord with you. I am desirable by anybody I want. And in my reality, that's 100% true. My skin doesn't need to be perfect. My makeup doesn't need to be perfect. Nothing has to be really perfect. I just have to be a person of purpose, a person of destination. I have a clear vision. Okay. This version of myself has a completely different, entirely different magnetism simply because I decided to have that. If you look the same, but you have a different attitude, in other words, and you're sending out thoughts of like, I am the most desirable person to every single person that I may want, that's what's going to be. That's what's going to be. I've had to program myself since my modeling days about that, but it kind of, went over into my personal life. Eventually it did, thank goodness, okay, as a kind of like self-esteem. And it's always like you start out by faking it till you're making it. What does a person who is desirable, who is desired feel like? It's a feeling. There's nothing to it. Again, you don't have to change your physique drastically. It starts out, but once it starts out with this feeling, with this portal to this other reality where you're like that 24/7, other things come in, like, ideas of a business, ideas to quit your job, ideas to do whatever. Maybe it's not that SP at all that you want, kind of situation. When you really, it clicks in within your mind that click, I'm the golden Buddha. I can have anybody. Doesn't matter where I'm from, how old I am, what I look like, what's my situation. I can literally have anybody. First of all, they're on your own creation, so of course you can have them. Nobody's asking them anything. It's like the entire war in your mind is between you and you. How to reposition this war so it could be played in your favor. That's the whole situation. That's the whole mystery of life. Anyway. So you could say things like, you're addicted to me, like to a drug. You're addicted to me like a foodie to food, or however you want to, compose this. You're addicted to me. Every person that I meet that I may want, they start being gaga over me. You know how, like, automatic it starts being? Like, again, I've had to work on this in my personal life after I, created that in my modeling, and it worked just the same. I just consistently reminded of myself. And, it's not like you probably have this in your life as well, because other people compliment you and tell you constantly like who you really are. And your mind just doesn't fucking believe it because you've been, again, brainwashed. But on the outside, even in 3D, okay, everybody's already in agreement that you're fucking phenomenal. You're fantastic. It's all the mind. The mind is what needs to be fixed. So all you're doing is just lining up with what's already there physically. With your talents, with your looks right now, you are looking at yourself through the distorted prism, but everybody's already in on how wonderful you are. So you're just basically just matching up the frequency to your authentic self, you could say. And therefore, there is no like struggle to attract anybody till this day. Like, if I look, I'm afraid to look at people in the street because I know they're going to start staring at me. I've again had to work on these things where it's like if I walk into the room, I want somebody, their mind like that. They've just completely just, fallen in love, head over shoulders. Love at first sight. If I want to. So you have these like magical gifts, you can activate them when you're coming off of this magical potion called your mind that contains this confidence like that is dormant within you right now. But you can pull it out any time you want, and you don't owe anybody an apology, explanation, how you've lived your life before, blah 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 blah. You can literally become this crazy magnetic person that's like, now you have too many options. You're gonna be calling me like, Anna, please. I have a lot of clients like that actually. Anna, please, it's too much. Too many options now. Let that be your problem. Why not? Good problems to have. Excuse me. So that's the mind, right? Conditioning yourself to expect. It's automatic. It's like I'm walking in the street just like the ground is underneath my feet. That's how magnetic I am, and everything that I want just zip, 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 comes to me. Okay? But that's the state of mind of I am a valuable person. That I am here for an important purpose. I'm incredibly beautiful inside and out. I'm gifted. I'm talented. I'm a gift to the world. I have a purpose. You see how it, all of a sudden you became this big deal, but that's actually your birthright. All right, with a crown on your head, always. So it's a new perspective. It's a rebranding of your mind, literally. A new perspective, a new point of view. Number 7, be inimitable, be unforgettable. So this is the physical now. If you want a literal makeover, this is also very helpful. Every time I had a makeover in my life, like something huge, I would dump like old clothes, rearrange my place, get new habits, get new hobbies, etc. But just completely create a new vision of myself, a new version of myself that's more successful, that's more desirable, that's more attractive in certain ways. Okay. So it isn't to copy somebody, not to imitate somebody, but to take inspirations from, let's just say you read biographies. Like, that's one of my favorite things to do. And all the, let's just say, successful people like Rockefeller and so on had these things in common, like passion, like persevering in their vision. Sometimes it took years. Like, this mentality, adopting this mentality that I'm here for the long run. That could be for your business. Then you can watch, I don't know, movies. Like, my inspirations personally are Marilyn Monroe and other, really wonderful actresses that, the golden age of Hollywood. Things like that. Again, not to copy, but be inspired by something that you can cultivate. Oh, this resonates with me and this resonates with me. So you kind of like becoming this magician of, I'm creating, I'm painting the most wonderful, perfect, magical version of myself. So what does it consist of? What clothes do I wear? Am I unforgettable? Not trying to be unforgettable, but I'm unforgettable just by being me. So therefore, excuse me, am I being authentic enough towards myself? Like, in other words, if I want to wear this and I'm afraid to wear this because it will, I don't know, attract attention or this and that. Well, don't, I'm not talking about something super revealing. It's not that, okay? But let's just say you don't dare to be yourself in some way, in some, whether that's fashion, what you put on your clothes, or whether that's some other thing. Well, dare to be yourself in all your glory. Dare to be seen in all your glory. Come exactly as you are. That's the super mega powerful attractive force that is like, oh my god, people look for people like that who are themselves because they're so inspired. Most people don't dare to be themselves 100%. Don't know what to say. It's just, again, brainwashing. But be inimitable and unforgettable in that you're true to your identity. Creating this identity brand new, because let's face it, we've established the old identity isn't yours anyway. I don't know who the fuck it belongs to. Probably your mother or your father. Who gives a shit? Okay, you get to create your identity from scratch. Again, that is not putting on somebody else's persona or identity. This is creating and musing, like, how am I going to be now? What kind of personality do I have? Am I easygoing? Am I naturally attracting good things? Am I easily pleased? Am I happy most of the time? This is what I mean. You're creating a character for yourself that is far more successful, far more happy, far more at peace, etc., etc., etc. I hope this makes sense. So designing your own new identity, style, and lifestyle. Okay, down to your clothes, down to your scent, you will see how these little things, they make a difference. They make a huge difference. Just change something very little in your reality today that has it corresponds to the other person, or make an action from that personality's point of view. Your life will start completely not being the same, because you are acting now on a different reality, on a different version. You would never do such a thing. The universe notices, like, right away. Uh-oh, she got it or he got it. They know how to mess with the matrix. That's how you mess with the matrix. You start acting as a new person. And finally, number 8, have and build your own life, your own world, and fucking be in love with it. That's for the soul. So we have the mind, the body that I just stated, the outside, the representation on the outside. Again, whether that's, I don't know, new sheets for your bed, even, or whatever it happens to be, new food that you can eat, something completely different, just even if it's just a symbol of the demarcation going from one person to another. Like, I know this old version used to do this, or this old version used to eat this food. I no longer eat this food. I eat this. It's just like that. But that's how you fuck with the matrix. That's how you really create this ripple effect in the time and space continuum, where you literally now are mimicking another reality, another version of you that's becoming. And like I said, when you get over there, it's like, how was I this person? How was I tolerating these? How was I not thinking of myself? Oh my God, kind of deal. Right. And for the soul, I don't know what to say, but I've discovered it from my own. Like I said, I gave you this example of going to these jobs to try to get some jobs that I would never do to appease my then boyfriend. I would never do that today. Okay. I would never do that today completely. So creating your own world to be able to say, you know what, this is who I am. This is what represents me. And I'm happy with my life. It's truly important to then what resonance will you have? And what kind of power you have? Do you know how stable you will feel? Do you know how powerful it will make you to be in love with your life without your SP first? It's incredible. What you will thank me later. This I put my money, name, and stamp on. You're not gonna go anywhere if you don't upgrade in consciousness. Where it doesn't have to be that you hoopla become an entrepreneur. Okay, doesn't have to be your story. Maybe you're retired, but it has to be that you are in love. You make changes in your life. Okay, that you genuinely, authentically love and adore, and it's kind of like you will understand that the SP is just a handbag. It's just a really great addition to your already beautiful life. It should never be the other way around. Do you understand? Your life is complete as it is, and then there are the addition. Like let's just say your life is, I don't know, 90%, right? And they bring like the 10%. That's it. And I don't mean money wise. No, no. But your energy dominates your decisions, your reality. Again, not in a narcissistic sense, but in I'm in charge of my reality. That's the responsible fucking thing to do. I'm in charge of my reality. I'm making selections so that I don't let anything up to chance or up to somebody else's narrative all over again. You've gotten sucked in into letting other people narrate your life, that kind of situation. So being in love with your life first and not saying goodbye to anything that is not okay part of being able to love it or any kind of other extraneous energy. And I know I'm talking to like a crowd of empaths. I know my client, my audience and my clients are like 99% empaths. You know how costly it is to be in the presence of energy that's dragging you down. You don't owe that energy to be held on to, in whatever shape or form it comes, whether that's an annoying friend, an annoying relative, an annoying whatever. Just like throw it out. Don't give it your energy. Okay, any questions, guys? Sorry, I spoke for the entire hour, only stopping for Lawless. Any questions, guys? While I drink my tea. Oh, just check my notes. No, I covered it. No. Okay. All right. So I really hope this helps you. And I really hope you take this home that the person you have been up until now will reside in this reality for as long as you want. I mean, for as long as you let yourself. Your consciousness travels from one version to another. That's all that is happening. Like this person today that is sitting here and watching me, if you want to change your life, you're not going to be the same person. You're not going to be literally in the same body. Okay. If you want your life to change, you need to arrange your kind of direction towards the body of the person you want to occupy. Start deciding what that person is like. Everything else will just take care of itself. It comes complete. It's a complete kit with a certain decision. I'm deciding that I'm this person. I'm deciding that this is how it's going to go in my world. I'm deciding this was not a setback. This was a setup for my upgrade. I'm deciding that everything is on my fucking side. That's it. If I'm deciding I'm that person that is like you don't even understand. Okay, some of you really don't understand, and this is why you need coaching. How much advantage you really have in each and every single one of your situations, then you actually understand, then you actually perceive that your mind lets you go on this wild ride and this wild train. As I've mentioned already, this is what needs to like get under control so that your past doesn't influence your future anymore or your present, you know? Just that's what needs to take place. And you need to, the goalpost is I'm more and more confident each day in myself, in my authenticity, in what I represent, and I deserve the very best. And only the best is going to come. Only the best is going to come out of the situation. There is no emergency. I don't need to be desperate. This is needed for me to pause and reconsider in which timeline I want to continue living, quite frankly. And that's really it. That's why it happened. Don't take it as a punishment. Don't take it as a reflection of you. It's just a creation. Now, what you can do with this creation and how you can flip the script completely on this fucking creation. Honestly, that's my joy. In my personal life, that's my joy, flipping the script on shit and helping others to do so. So, if this is something you need, all the information again is below, all the packages, everything. You can also listen to the audios that are explaining the packages. I specifically recorded those for those who will have questions. There are two audios right now, most recent ones describing everything. But if you still have some questions, that you can absolutely email me. All right. Thank you so much for watching and for showing up, everybody. I'll see you next week. Ciao, cacao. Bye bye. Big kiss. Bye, Lolas.